Hi, I'm Maren. Welcome back to my channel, Maren Makes It. Today I'm going to bring you part 2 of my moving and modeling day vlog. Alright, so somehow it all fit in the car once again. I feel a little bit bad this time because they had asked me to have the cats inside, but I honestly can't find one of the cats. He got out while I was just taking trips of stuff to the car, and I just couldn't chase after him with everything I was carrying. I know he'll come back like to eat, but they did specifically ask me for that, so I feel kind of bad. Obviously, I'm really sweaty. I kind of am hating looking at my makeup right now, and my little curls here are gone, so I'm gonna have to try to touch that up before I go to the photo shoot. So now I'm gonna go to the new house sit. Sometimes the distance can be pretty far that you end up having to walk with your stuff. So I'm gonna walk us down to where I parked from the apartment. Fill in a few other parts of the day because I just got a little bit rushed in the afternoon, so I stopped being able to film because I barely had time as it was to get to the photo shoot. So I basically got to the new apartment, unloaded my car. Thank you. You're welcome. Then I basically did my makeup and like beauty products and stuff that I knew I would need for the evening, because I knew in the evening when I'd get home late, I wouldn't be in the mood to unload the car. Also, I wasn't sure what the parking situation would be in the evening, and I'm really glad I did that because I ended up actually parking like 3 blocks away. Carrying stuff from that much further would have been even worse. If I don't have time enough to unpack these bags, just getting them in here, which is 72 degrees, versus the car, which is probably over 100 degrees, given that it's 96 degrees out, already is going to make a huge difference in the ability of these to stay cool while I'm gone. Part of the reason I'm so concerned about that is mainly just because it's such a waste of money to have to throw out so much food because it goes bad just because your car was too hot. So generally my freezer bags are going to be the last thing I pack up when I'm somewhere and the first thing I unpack when I'm in a new place. A little curious guy here named Archie that is checking out what is in my grocery bags. Other things in my freezer bags as well besides food items, which is something to think about, especially when it's this hot out. So for example, these magnesium capsules are really prone to melting. They're like a gel capsule. These gummy vitamins, I've definitely had these melt on me before and kind of congeal into one giant vitamin. So that's something I would put. This is a certain kind of like tea powder. So I'm just not sure if it's good for it to be heated up that much. And also it takes up space in the bag. And this is a body lotion that is kind of prone to turning very weird consistency when it gets hot. So I prefer to keep it cold. Deodorant is, by the way, another one that's pretty prone to melting. And the oatmeal is just in here just because it needed a spot. Well, I managed to bring all my groceries and some of my most valuable things from the car in, so that's a good start, I'd say. And I got Archie here, who's gonna keep me company for the next few days. So I have about 30 minutes before I need to leave for the photo shoot, so I'm just looking for some good lighting to touch up my hair, makeup, and do my nails really quick. I'm trying out these new stick-on nails from Kiss. You can get these at the grocery store or the drugstore. They were really the only thing they had. I knew I wouldn't have enough time to get a manicure or do one myself, so I needed a really quick solution. So I figured even if these just stay on for the night, that's good enough for the sake of the photo shoot. So basically they just come in different sized nails, and then you pick the one that the most closely aligns with your natural nails, and then you glue it on. And then you have to pull off this little tab off the front. I did also end up fainting in the afternoon, which was kind of weird. So I got into the cold air conditioning and I sat down on the bed, and I like just felt myself like, you know, your vision kind of goes like, and then suddenly like I fell backwards. I mean, luckily I was sitting on the edge of a bed, but I think honestly my body was just like going and so hot that by the time I got inside, it just like, when I let it relax for a second, it just like completely passed out. So the previous place I was at actually didn't have air conditioning. It just had swamp cooling. If you're not familiar with swamp cooling, it is basically evaporative cooling. And so how it works is that it relies on the fact that, sorry, there's currently a cat tackling my foot. Anyways, I was saying, if you're not familiar with what swamp cooling is, it's basically evaporative cooling. So it works only in places that are dry climates. So if you live somewhere where the summer is hot and humid as opposed to hot and dry, you've probably never heard of this. Growing up in the East Coast, I definitely had never heard of this. So basically what happens is that water is pumped into the air and that helps the air cool off, is how I understand it. So it makes the air also more humid, which if you live in the desert is not necessarily the worst thing. It's actually really good for your skin, but it can only do so much in terms of actually cooling you down and cooling the house down. And if it like gets hotter than you want it to be, you end up with like really humid air in there, and it's pretty gross. So I was just, honestly, I was sweating buckets in there. I'm so glad that I did most of my loading of the car really early in the morning, because that's definitely the cooler time of day. But then I think just to go into such an air-conditioned building where it was like 72 degrees when all morning, probably the lowest temperature I'd experienced was like 85. And then after like just having such a busy morning and probably being dehydrated and hungry on top of it, I think I just sat down and my body was just like, but we're shutting down, and I just passed out. And luckily that was just on the bed. Then what I did was I drank some Gatorade and got some electrolytes in, had a little bit of food, and then I just kind of texted that I'd be coming a little bit late to the photo shoot because I just passed out and I just wanted to make sure I was good to drive. And I was really confident that I was good to drive before I did that hour-long drive. Luckily then we got a little bit of rain here, so it cooled down about 10 degrees. So from 98 we went down to 88, which is a huge difference when you're gonna go shoot photos in the open field and in the sun. So this place that we went was called Anderson Farms, and it is gonna be kind of north of the airport of Denver, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Just fields and fields and fields of sunflowers. We ended up shooting until about nightfall, and then I did the drive home, and now I'm home. And so that is what you're seeing now. And I'm in my new house sit, so my new home, quote unquote, with Archie the cat, and that's the one who is just tackling my foot. Currently it's about 10 o'clock. I got up at 5 a.m. I just got home, took a quick shower to get the makeup off my face. If you guys are wondering how the photo shoot went, it honestly went amazing. I'll put some pictures in here if I already have them by the time that this video comes out. Otherwise, you guys should follow me on Instagram at Maren Harkin, because that's where I'll be posting a lot of those. But the sunflowers were beautiful. We thought we were gonna get rain. There was a few sprinkles starting, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, I'll keep shooting if it's, you know, raining a little bit, but if it starts to pour or thunderstorm, they would make us leave. And so I was really nervous about that whole situation. But actually the rain somehow managed to hold off, and actually it created a really beautiful sunset for us to watch instead, and for a backdrop in the photos. And that with the sunflowers was just absolutely magical, and it was so worth the hour to drive there. So it was about an hour to drive there and about 45 minutes back for me, because there was a game going on in downtown Denver, and so the traffic getting there was terrible, and there was 2 accidents, of course. And so it was just a really difficult drive for a Saturday. I feel like normally Saturday, kind of like the middle of the afternoon, is not a particularly high traffic time here. Today was definitely one of those days where I go through all the stages of, I want to say grief, but not quite, but of moving in one day, where I had the really low moments of, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a breakdown and start crying. Why am I doing this? And then leading to the spiral of wanting to reassess my entire life and what I'm doing. And then I had the really high highs, like the photo shoot and getting to talk to people that I really like. And I am reminded why I'm doing this, and that I love working on these creative projects, whether it's photo shoots or YouTube. And while those things might not pay or pay the best right now, house sitting is worth it to be able to free up some of my time again so that I can do these things that I really love. You guys are wondering how my nails held up. They actually look pretty good. I gotta say, we'll see how long this lasts, but considering that I spent about maybe 15 minutes doing these look really good. I did lose 1 or 2 right after I'd done them, because I think I hadn't applied pressure for long enough. It says on the back of the package you should do it for 3 seconds for every nail, but I would say that it's more like 10 seconds for every nail, and the longer the better is what I seem to find. So we'll see. I feel like I do a lot of crafting and cooking, and like these longish nails won't probably stay on very well, but I will say that they looked really beautiful, like picking sunflowers. And it was a really quick way to do a manicure, because I normally do my own gel manicures, and pedicures, but I will say that especially the manicure part takes really long because while you're painting one hand, well, obviously with the other one, like you can't alternate which one you're working on. Whereas like your feet, like I'll paint one coat on the right foot, put it under the lamp, paint one coat on the left foot, and then by the time that I'm done painting that coat, I'm ready to do the next one on the right foot. So it goes like twice as fast when I do my feet as compared to when I do my hands. So I'm gonna have some food now. I'm really glad I did some meal prepping earlier in the week because these are the days where it just really comes in super handy to have this stuff already ready to go. I am gonna watch some TV and just unwind and leave you guys for the night. But thank you so much for watching. I had a fun kind of taking you on my crazy moving day with you guys. You guys let me know if this is something you like, if this is something you want to see more of, because I really have no idea what people are interested in sometimes besides eyelashes and car camping. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are right now, and I am going to space out in front of the TV for the night. Bye, YouTube. When you've had a long day and all you want to do is turn on the TV, but you can't because you're at a house sit and you can't figure out which of the 3 remotes is the one that actually makes the TV work.